Hello, everyone, and thank you for allowing me to speak to you today about trends, projections, and opportunities in the Piedmont Triad labor market. My name is Jamie Vaughn, and I'm an analyst with the Labor and Economic Analysis Division at the North Carolina Department of Commerce. The labor market, the Labor and Economic Analysis Division, commonly known as LEAD, is the source for labor market information and economic analysis. We strive to help North Carolina make well-informed, data-driven decisions through access to and interpretation of quality data. Our customers range from the governor's office, workforce partners, education partners, economic development partners, local governments, and more. In the few minutes we have together, I'm going to tell you a story about your region. I will start by discussing the current state of the labor market, continue by sharing what it means for job seekers and employers, and close with a few thoughts about the opportunities for a prosperous future. Now, let's dive right in and look at the current state of the labor market. We know that there has been a growth in jobs. The most recent quarterly Census of Employment and Wages, QCEW, data states that there are more than 722,000 jobs in the region as of Q2 2023. This is a gain of more than 3,700 jobs from before the pandemic, looking at Q2 2019 for comparison. I do want to note that the growth has been uneven, with only 5 counties adding jobs in that time frame. You can see them highlighted in blue: Davie, Forsyth, Davidson, Guilford, and Alamance. We know that, for the most part, people who want to work are working. The most recent unemployment rate in the region is 3.3%, which is extremely low. This is slightly lower than the rate in December 2022, approximately 1 year ago, and is the lowest rate in the region since at least 1999. Each of the region's counties have lower rates than prior to the pandemic, except for Randolph County, which is the same, and Guilford, which is up by a mere 0.1 percentage points. Jobs are expected to continue to be added, but the growth is slowing. There were a significant number of job openings shortly after the beginning of the pandemic, but that growth has slowed since early 2022. Also note that the growth of job seekers has slowed significantly since the start of the pandemic. Now that we understand the current labor market conditions, let's move on to what this means for job seekers and employers. What does this all mean for job seekers? The job seeker per job opening data tells us how tight the labor market is. The current ratio for the region is 1. This means that for every job opening, there is an average of 1 job posting. I want to note that this data does not match skills or education requirements. It's simply matching the number of job seekers with the number of job openings. The lower the number you see, the better for the job seekers. The higher the number, the better for employers. For the region, you can see that this ratio is almost 2, meaning that there were 2 job seekers for each job opening at the beginning of the pandemic, but was below 1, meaning that there was only 1 job seeker, or actually less than 1 job seeker per job opening from late 2021 until approximately now, where it's returned to 1. As we just reviewed, the labor market, as measured by job seekers over job openings, is increasing. Does that mean that employers will start finding it easier to find workers? Sort of, when compared to the last couple of years, but a ratio of 1 job seeker per job opening is still historically tight. Again, a very tight labor market. Note that this labor tightness is not seen across all occupations. The chart on the screen shows the labor tightness across the 16 career and technical education career clusters. Occupations in law and public safety, health science, hospitality and tourism, and STEM are less than 1. Again, very tight labor markets. While occupations in arts, government, education are much slacker. They're higher than 1, with arts and communication at 3.6, government at 3.5. That's telling us that in those career clusters, it's a little bit easier for employers to find workers than it is in the law, public safety, health science, hospitality, and tourism areas. What does this mean for employers? Employers need to be more competitive in the marketplace for workers. How can they do that other than raise wages? The 2022 Employer Needs Survey, which spoke to employers from all over the state across all industries, revealed that employers were adding benefits trying to address this need to be more competitive. The most common benefit added was paid leave, followed by health insurance, childcare assistance, retirement plans, and tuition assistance were also mentioned as benefits being added. You might be asking if this is still true. We are working to find that out now as the 2023 Employer Needs Survey is currently underway. You should look for this report to be released by the middle of this year sometime. Now, let's turn our focus to the opportunities for a prosperous future. Looking at the 2021 to 2030 projections data for the Piedmont Triad region, we project solid job growth. More than 59,000 new jobs are projected to be added by 2030. Growth is expected across numerous industries, but the largest growth that is expected is in the healthcare and social assistance and accommodations and food services. I would like to note that lead projections data does not include announced economic development projects. All of us in this room are aware that the Piedmont Triad has been very successful with job recruitment recently, with almost 12,000 new jobs announced across the region in multiple industries in the calendar years 2022 and 2023. With so many new projects, I can't list them all. Some of the projects that we all know, such as Toyota battery manufacturing, Boom Supersonic, Siemens Mobility, and more. Of course, these new companies will join the already strong employer base that includes companies such as Atrium Health, Cone Health, LabCorp, Volvo Group, and more. You may be thinking, Jamie, how can I help job seekers understand what jobs to train for? The easiest way to do this is to use NC Star Jobs. Star Jobs rates occupations from 1 to 5 stars. A 5-star job is considered to be the best long-term prospect. This rating system looks at 3 items to determine a occupation's rating. Average wage, in other words, does it pay a lot or does it pay little in comparison? Growth rate, are employers adding new jobs? And finally, number of job openings, which I like to think of something like job postings. When you see a job posting, you don't know if that is a new job to the employer or if it is an existing job that is open because of someone leaving the position due to promotion, retirement, job switching, leaving the labor force to take care of family, or a number of reasons. You can access the star ratings data for each geography at tools.nccareers.org/star jobs, as you see on the screen. What is the Star Jobs data for the Piedmont Triad Prosperity Zone? Star Jobs data is not available for Prosperity Zone, but it is broken down at the Piedmont Triad Prosperity Zone into 2 sub-prosperity zones. The Winston-Salem region, which includes Surrey, Yadkin, Davie, Davidson, Forsyth, and Stokes counties, and the Greensboro region, which includes Rockingham, Guilford, Randolph, Caswell, and Alamance. Looking at this data, some of the largest occupations across both regions include occupations in health science, management, IT, construction, and manufacturing, as you can see on the screen. Across the Prosperity Zone, there are 85 unique occupations listed as 5-star. 42 of those 85 are 5-star in both of the regions. The Greensboro region has 13 occupations unique to itself as 5-star, while the Winston-Salem region has 30 unique occupations listed as 5-star. Note that about 68 of the 5-star occupations in the Piedmont Triad require some sort of higher education, including which could be a certificate, an associate degree, or above. As we close out this presentation, let's look at the opportunities to help build a prosperous future. The first opportunity is to find ways to grow opportunities for historically disadvantaged populations. Focusing on minority groups, especially low income, is key. Another population to potentially focus on is the justice-involved population. According to recent lead research, fewer than half of people exiting state prisons were employed within 1 year of release, even amid the historically tight labor market we've reviewed and talked about during this presentation over the last few years. I also want to note that the individuals who were able to find work earned a median wage of only about $7,500 per year. So there's lots of room for opportunity to help bring folks in and uh, Opportunity youth is another space. These are known as the individuals between the age of 16 and 24 who are neither in school or employed at the time. Some suggestions to work with these populations are continued outreach and counseling, not just for helping them find work, but to help them understand how to continue to grow in a career. Often that could involve wraparound services in addition to career counseling and helping align them with education. That brings me to our next area where there is opportunity, aligning regional education and training to in-demand occupations. Currently, the Piedmont Triad region is approximately 84% aligned when comparing the degrees conferred by regional institutions with the current job openings. An alignment of 100% means that the degrees conferred by regional institutions were conferred in the same proportion as the number of job openings from employers. Looking further into this data, we see that the top areas of misalignment are in health sciences for occupations requiring less than a bachelor's degree, transportation and logistics for occupations requiring less than a bachelor's degree, and business occupations for occupations requiring a bachelor's degree. The final opportunity I will discuss is to work regionally and to try to keep the Piedmont Triad workers working in the Piedmont Triad. Understanding your current commuting patterns and where your workers are going is important. Reviewing the most recent data available, only 2 of the Prosperity Zone counties, Forsyth and Guilford, had fewer than half of their residents leaving the county for work. This trend has continued over the last 20 years across the region as 42% commuted out of the county across the Prosperity Zone in 2002 versus nearly 56% of the region commuted outside of the county in 2021. Working with your local residents to find opportunities within the Prosperity Zone and helping businesses to find workers living in the Prosperity Zone can help this. So as I close out today, I'd like to remind you of a couple of places where you can access information and resources to help advance this work. nccareers.org is a North Carolina-focused career exploration tool where you can find regional-specific information, occupations, education, and more. And analytics.nccommerce.com is your one-stop shop for all of LEAD's tools, information, and resources. If you're looking for some data, I would suggest you start your search there. As I close again, my name is Jamie Vaughn. You can see my contact information on the screen. I'm happy to help. Want to also remind you can follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at CareersNNC. You can also follow us at LeadNC. And if you're looking for some of this research that I referenced today, you can follow our lead feed blog at commerce.nc.gov/news/the lead feed. I appreciate your opportunity today and look forward to the rest of the event. Thank you very much.